This is effectively a life sentence for R. Kelly.
This man is a prolific serial predator who utilized his status as a Grammy award-winning household name to inflict pain and anguish on so many victims.
How could we all have missed the sinister things about R. Kelly for so long? Was he just really good at hiding how twisted he was? Or was the truth hiding in plain sight this whole time? Stay tuned to find out all the red flags we ignored about R. Kelly. Robert Sylvester Kelly is a 55-year-old American singer, songwriter, and record producer who was convicted for violating the Mann Act and the RICO, Racketeer Influenced and Corrupt Organizations Act, at a federal trial in 2021. Before R. Kelly was tried and convicted, he was an incredibly popular artist. He was credited with having redefined R&B and hip-hop. He has sold 75 million records worldwide and is one of the world's most successful male R&B artists, and he's made music and performed with some of the world's biggest musical artists. But this once promising artist has a dark side. R. Kelly has been accused of sexual assault numerous times in his career by young adults and even minors. He repeatedly denied all the charges. R. Kelly was even tried and acquitted on 21 counts of making child pornography in 2002. And though he was accused of many other crimes after, he was never convicted. Until 2019, when the Lifetime television docuseries Surviving R. Kelly was released and helped resurface the scandal. This docuseries helped people see just how evil R. Kelly really is. And after several jurisdictions built cases against R. Kelly in 2019, he was finally arrested. So, how is it that R. Kelly went on terrorizing the lives of so many people for so long and never faced any real consequences until now? Were the pieces of the puzzle just so obscure we didn't realize they were right in front of us this whole time? Well, in this video, we're putting that puzzle together for you. So, without further ado, here are all the red flags we ignored about R. Kelly. Number 1, R. Kelly's childhood abuse. Insight into R. Kelly's childhood has provided us all with valuable information that has helped to gauge the convicted artist's pathology. The Surviving R. Kelly docuseries helped bring to light not only sexual abuse allegations against R. Kelly, but it also shed a little bit of light on the sexual abuse that the convicted singer might have gone through growing up. Carrie Kelly, R. Kelly's younger brother, appeared in the documentary and discussed the alleged assault on himself and Kelly when they were kids, but he doesn't go into the specifics. In an interview he had with Tasha K, a YouTube personality and gossip blogger, Carrie alleged that his older sister Teresa had abused them both when they were very young, and Teresa was a few years older. He further supposed that his sister had forced them into oral sex contact and that she had a system of keeping one sibling alone with her in the house and the rest outdoors when she was babysitting. He said that he was always too afraid to tell his mom. R. Kelly has talked about being abused before, first in his 2012 book Solar Coaster, and then again in his 2016 GQ interview where he revealed that he was molested by a female relative. And in his 19-minute-long song I Admit that was released in 2018, he sings, "I admit a family member touched me from a child to the age 14. There were also claims from Carrie alleging that a 60-year-old man named Eli Henry, who lived in the same neighborhood as them, had tried to molest them when they were younger. Bruce Kelly, Casey and R. Kelly's older brother, even recounts that one day R. Kelly came home after spending some time with Eli Henry after Henry had tried some inappropriate things with R. Kelly. Although this all lends some perspective to R. Kelly, it still does not change the awful things that he did to so many people. In the words of Jim DeRogatis, the author of Solace, the Case Against R. Kelly, often the victim becomes the defender of other victims. Most often, and occasionally, the victim becomes the victimizer. Number 2, R. Kelly's marriage to Aaliyah. Perhaps one of the more glaring red flags would be R. Kelly's marriage to Aaliyah, the now deceased female R&B superstar. Aaliyah and R. Kelly got married when she was 15 and he was 27 in 1994. Aaliyah was said to be pregnant at the time, and it was also alleged that R. Kelly bribed an official to forge their marriage documents.
Love man hip-hop star R. Kelly did indeed marry his protege, the 15-year-old singer Aaliyah Houghton.
When the marriage ended, Aaliyah's career almost ended along with it due to the scandal it brought and the fact that she was demonized by the music industry, but unsurprisingly, R. Kelly came out of the whole thing without a dent in his career. In biographer Kathy Landoli's book Baby Girl, better known as Aaliyah, she claims that Aaliyah was forced to sign a legal document banning her from discussing emotional distress or physical harm caused by R. Kelly's abuse. Landoli adds that the marriage was just a way for R. Kelly to legalize his abuse. R. Kelly's marriage to Aaliyah is proof that he is a deeply disturbed person. His attraction to a 15-year-old girl while he was almost 30 years old is nothing short of appalling. We honestly shudder to think of all the things he did to poor Aaliyah, knowing now all the horrible things he did to so many people after her. Number 3, R. Kelly's ex-wife. Another red flag we ignored about R. Kelly and his vileness is the abuse his ex-wife Andrea Kelly suffered at his hands. Andrea Kelly even called R. Kelly a monster in a recent interview where she opened up about the abuse that took place during their marriage. In her interview with Inside Edition, she described how her home in Chicago became a prison for her during their 13-year marriage from 1996 to 2009. She was in tears as she said, "I often say I spent 10 years being married, but I don't know what it's like to be a wife, and what was supposed to be my big, beautiful mansion ultimately became my prison." Despite the mounting accusations of sexual coercion and abuse, Andrea refrained from speaking about the abuse she suffered in her relationship for a long time. But she is now inspired to speak her truth by the several women that have come forward against R. Kelly. She went into detail about her abuse in the interview, stating that she could not even leave their home without R. Kelly's permission and that she had to call him daddy. Kitty Jones and Asante McGee also came forward and claimed that R. Kelly also made them call him daddy. She also stated that he would often tie her to the bed while he went to sleep. Number 4, R. Kelly's lyrics. One of the biggest red flags that we missed about R. Kelly was definitely his music lyrics. People are now noticing just how much of his problematic lyrics hinted at the truly sordid man within. The surviving R. Kelly docuseries inspired people to take a closer look at R. Kelly's songs after some of his victims alleged that some of his songs were inspired by their nefarious relationship. His lyrics in the song "I Like the Crotch on You" definitely sound incredibly sinister now that we know that R. Kelly has always been attracted to underage girls and even picked them up at malls and high schools. In Aaliyah's song "Age Ain't Nothing But a Number," which R. Kelly produced, she pleads with her lover that their age difference doesn't matter, singing "Age ain't nothing but a number, throwing down ain't nothing but a thing." When the song was first released, people didn't think anything of it, but after she and R. Kelly secretly got married that year, it was clear that these lyrics were about their own appalling and illegal relationship. "Down Low, Nobody Has to Know" is another one of R. Kelly's songs that may have an explicit double meaning. The alleged victims in the docuseries revealed that their parents never knew about their relationship with him, and that ties into the fact that the whole idea of this song is clandestine affairs. He sings, "We can keep it on the down low, nobody has to know." In his track, "She's Got That Vibe," his lyrics are strange and offensive, and he even made mention of Aaliyah, who was just 12 years old at the time. He called her "little cute Aaliyah" and included her in the list of women who have got it. In 2000, allegations about R. Kelly and his abuse of underage girls were beginning to come to light, so the singer took to music to deny them. In Jay-Z's "Guilty Until Proven Innocent," R. Kelly boasts about how no one can touch him and that he has women in his corner. He sings, "You can't touch me, no you can't touch me. Jigga Kelly not guilty. Try to charge me, but I'm not guilty. I got all my mammies." Number 5, the allegations. Another red flag we ignored is the plethora of allegations that R. Kelly had against him. And while we understand that allegations don't always mean something happened, it definitely seems like we all should have paid more attention to them when it came to R. Kelly. Where there's smoke, there's fire, right? And there was definitely smoke when it came to Robert Kelly. In December 2000, Jim DeRogatis' article revealed that Tiffany Hawkins had sued R. Kelly in 1996. Hawkins alleged that R. Kelly engaged in inappropriate sexual conduct with her when she was only 15 and he was 24 in 1991. From August 2001 to May 2002, Tracy Simpson, Patrice Jones, and Montina Woods claimed that R. Kelly had done something to each of them in some way, but R. Kelly reached settlements with all 3 women and the cases never went to trial. Over the years, more allegations were brought against him, and in June 2002 and July 2003, Kelly was arrested and charged with multiple counts of child pornography, but the charges were later dropped. And in 2017, DeRogatis published an expose on BuzzFeed that alleged that Kelly was keeping women against their will in an abusive cult. Women who were supposedly in Kelly's inner circle were interviewed, and they said that Kelly lived with 6 women and he controls every aspect of their lives. R. Kelly, of course, denied all these claims. Number 6, R. Kelly's cult. As we just said, R. Kelly supposedly had a cult where he groomed, imprisoned, assaulted, and trained young and often vulnerable women to become his sex slaves. The rapper would allegedly pick these women out of the crowd at his concerts and shows, and he would hold them hostage and abuse them for his own sexual gratification. He reportedly dictated what they would eat, how they would dress, when they would bathe or sleep, and how they would engage in sexual encounters that he recorded. Kelly allegedly raised women and taught them how to perform sex acts, and even kept numerous sex slaves in different locations. Number 7, engaged to his victim. Before disgraced rapper R. Kelly was sentenced to 30 years in prison, one of his alleged victims, Jocelyn Savage, claimed that the two are actually engaged and that he's anything but an abuser. On June 13th, Jocelyn Savage pleaded for leniency for the singer and revealed that the two were set to be married, although she didn't say when the two had gotten engaged, and she didn't share any other details. The fact that one of his own alleged victims is defending him and claiming that he is a good man just further proves how incredibly manipulative and truly evil R. Kelly really is. Anyway, that's it for our video. Did you notice some of these red flags earlier on? What did you think of the Surviving R. Kelly docuseries? And what are your thoughts on R. Kelly still maintaining his innocence? Let us know your answers to these questions and your opinions on the video in the comment section down below. And please don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on your post notifications so you don't miss our next video.